1 in every 5 Indian women has PCOS, and with symptoms like weight gain or irregular menses or such generic symptoms, a lot of them don't even know about it. So, if you are one of them, then is life always going to be difficult for you? No, PCOS doesn't have you, you have PCOS. So, let's learn how to fight like a girl. I am Apoorva Joshi, a foodie and a clinical nutritionist. You are watching a video by Unboxed Nutrition. Today we are going to talk about how to fight PCOS. Now, before we learn how to fight it, how do you know if you have PCOS? A lot of times we hear from people that my periods are regular so I don't have it, or my ovaries don't have any cysts so I don't have it. So PCOS does not just affect your reproductive system, but it affects you in 3 different ways. First one is endocrine, which means it can cause insulin resistance or weight gain. Second one is reproductive system, which means you may have cysts on the ovaries, you may have irregular periods or mood changes around periods, etc. And the third one is cosmetic changes, which means that you might have acne, hair fall, or excessive body hair. Now, it is not necessary that you have all of these symptoms for you to qualify as somebody who has PCOS. You might have only some of them, you might have only mild level of some symptoms. Another myth about PCOS is that only fat girls get PCOS and thin girls do not. Now, that is not true either. PCOS can affect girls of any size, any body shape, and any age as well. First thing that is an absolute must is screen yourself periodically. If you are facing any of these symptoms, then do consult an endocrinologist or a gynecologist to see if you have PCOS. Only when you know that you have it, you can fight it. Second one is, do not get disheartened by the diagnosis. Now, if you have learned that you have PCOS, it is not the end of the fight, just the beginning of it. So it does not mean that you are always going to keep putting on weight, or you are never going to be able to get pregnant, or you are definitely going to develop diabetes or any such things. It is a completely manageable disease, and if you put in efforts, these things are not the end of it. Third one, which in my opinion is the most important, is do not make weight loss as your only strategy to deal with this disease. Now, you might have heard a lot of times from doctors or on the internet that how weight loss can reverse PCOS. But the truth behind that is, only if you lose this weight in a healthy manner, then it can help you improve your health and reverse PCOS. So if you follow some gimmicky diet plans which make you lose a lot of weight in a very short span, it is not necessarily improving your health, and that may not reverse your PCOS. So focus on how you make these changes rather than how much weight you are losing. Next one is one change that should become a forever habit for you. It is about balancing every meal. So most of the Indians have a little more carbohydrate than required in their diet and very little vegetables and proteins in every meal. So what we need to do is to make sure that we balance all three by following this kind of plate model, where we fill up half our plate with just vegetables, 1/4 of it with protein, and 1/4 of it with carbohydrates. This will make sure that you are getting just enough carbohydrates and enough protein to make sure that your balance is correct. In addition to the carbs, veggies, and proteins on your plate, also make sure that you include some healthy fats. Now, a lot of times in order to lose weight, people keep cutting down on fat and go on a really low fat diet. But to make sure that your systems work well, you do need some fat in your diet, and a good kind of fat. So the things that can help you very well are seeds, oily fish, and some healthy fats coming from nuts, etc. So definitely include seeds in your diet, because these have certain beneficial components that do help in balancing your hormones. The next change is about your physical activity. In PCOS, when we develop insulin resistance, it makes it slightly harder for us to lose weight. And the more weight we gain, the insulin resistance also gets worse. So to break out of this vicious cycle, one thing that can definitely help is strength training. Now, by strength training, I do not mean that you have to go to the gym and lift some weights. It can be in the form of just lifting your own body weight, or doing some exercises that put a little more load on your muscles with the help of a resistance band, or more such tactics. So make sure that you include strength training at least once or twice in a week. A lot of times people think that we only need to make changes to our diet and exercise to make sure that we are managing this disease well. However, one of the most important factors to deal with PCOS is also stress. Now, it is known to be a disorder that can start on the psychological level and then manifest into physical symptoms, which means it can start only because of stress and then become a physical issue where you start seeing symptoms. So now, to be able to handle the root cause, you definitely have to learn how to deal with this stress. So if you are somebody who has chronic level of stress for a very long time, learn how to deal with it by doing some de-stressing activity every day, like meditation or playing a sport or talking to somebody you like, or any such thing that helps you reduce your stress. If you want to fight PCOS better, just sleep. Now, when you get a good night's sleep, That means that your hormones are more under control, your stress hormones go low, the hormones that make you hungry go low, and the hormones that make you feel full are high. So it balances your whole cycle of different hormones, and that in turn helps you in managing PCOS better. So make sure you get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep at night. Last but not the least is vitamins that can help with PCOS. Now there is a high correlation between PCOS and vitamin D deficiency. So vitamin D is definitely one of the supplements that you can take. Vitamin B6, B9 and B12 of the vitamin B family are also particularly helpful. There is one lesser known vitamin known as inositol, which definitely helps in improving insulin resistance and ovulatory function. So this is another vitamin that can be helpful. And last but not the least are some vitamins which help in reducing the insulin resistance, which can be like zinc, chromium, etc. And that sums up all the strategies that we are going to utilize to make sure that we fight PCOS better. If there are any questions or queries that are left unanswered after this video, please drop them in the comments or message me and ask. I will be very happy to help you out. And if you have liked this video or if you found it useful, please share it with somebody else who might be able to fight PCOS better with this video. We are going to see each other in yet another video where I will be covering another topic related to women's health. So if you want to stay tuned to that, hit the follow or subscribe button.